Going live, boys. Stream says it's starting, but I wait till the video preview catches up. So, what are you guys thinking of starting the stream with? A little bottle of what?
I think I'm gonna start this stream with having some Buckleys because I'm a little sick.
Okay.
My throat hurts and just.
Man, let's start with some.
Oh my god! It just smells so bad.
The urine of God.
This is the urine. Did you call it the urine of God? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
What is that? A Stella? Stella basically is the urine of God. It tastes somehow awful and good at the same time.
Fair enough.
It's a taste of a new generation.
Taste of a new generation. That's is that. We're not even sponsored by them. Why are you going around advertising their stuff?
Hey, you know what? Hopefully, you know what? One day I would love to get sponsored by Stella.
Sponsored by Stella.
Oh my god, this stuff looks like cum.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Ew.
Why? Ew.
Ugh.
Okay, maybe we should introduce who we are real quick, or do you want to wait a little bit longer before we do? You wanna?
I want to see John chug that.
Oh, you gotta chug the whole
There we
thing?
go. I'm not gonna chug it. I've got a teaspoonful. That's how much you're supposed to have. I'm not some sort of fucking drug addict. All right, here we go.
Oh. Ugh.
Oh god.
God, that looks awful.
Oh.
Okay.
Tastes awful.
Welcome to the Thoughts and Other Lives podcast. I'm Colin Phillips. I'm your guy who runs it. I wouldn't say I'm a host. In the middle there, you have, Phil LaRosa. You can say hi.
Hey, I'm Phil LaRosa. I'm the other guy that doesn't run it.
And over far to the right, we have Jonathan Zagrodnik, and he is our resident cough syrup downing badass.
I will say my throat actually does feel a lot better almost instantly.
Well, that's good. That's very good.
It's crazy. It's just making my eyes water is all.
Okay.
No, it's fine. Side effects. Every drug has a side effect.
Every drug has a side effect. What is on the docket today? Talk about, boys.
Today we are talking about there's a whole bunch of controversy surrounding Black Panther, but a really stupid controversy. Our very own Prime Minister is saying some really stupid things, you know, to kind of fuel the PC rage. I mean, PC age. Super Bowl happened over the weekend. We're going to talk about the ads, and then, of course, I just want to have a conversation about movie trailers in general and how much they, kind of fucking suck lately.
Fair enough. And that'll pretty much be our show, aiming for about half hour, 15 minutes, somewhere around there. And we'll hopefully give you a nice rundown of exciting things to talk about.
Yeah. Colin, how about you grab that Discord server?
Oh, Discord
server. Post that in our chat. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. I will cut to me then real quick. So as I do that, John will talk. It will be looking at me, though, because I have to close it to grab the Discord server link. And that will show all my...
basically, we decided to, from recommendation from another friend of ours who has a podcast called Live from the 905, which if you're into talk and, getting interviews by up-and-coming people, he's the guy to check out. Josh Benoit, we love you, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing.
He's great.
He recommended that we move from Skype to Discord because Skype sucks. Discord is actually pretty decent. So if you want to get in on our conversations on Discord, Colin's going to hook you up with our server link right now, and then you'll be able to chat with us. You can still chat with us in the
Twitch chat.
Steam Twitch chat over on this side. Am I pointing to the right side?
No. You're
down here.
Maybe.
This side?
There you go.
Somewhere around here. You can always chat with us in that. If not, you can chat with us in Discord. And the thing is, once the stream is over, we're still going to be kicking around, so you can kind of contact us in Discord whenever. We might not get back to you right away. We might not even get back to you at all. We all live very busy lives.
Add us is the best way to do it. And on speaking of that, anytime past 5, I'll probably be on the server. These two I can't say as much for, but usually I'm on the server to some degree after 5, for sure. Like
I work a midday show at a radio station, so I'm usually home by 5, so I can be on the server pretty much whenever. Phil,
I'm at work all the time.
Olympics, so
yeah. When does that Olympics shift start, Phil? It sounds exciting.
Oh man, it starts tomorrow, and it's my first of 17 straight. So
that
how
sounds
does it
brutal.
Start tomorrow when the opening ceremonies are Friday?
I think there's some exhibition games,
yeah,
or just like training or practices that they do.
They basically open up the events because remember all the people who get there, like stuff like it's Winter Olympics, correct? Yeah, so
That was
bobsled.
summer
Well,
ones.
fucking duh.
Yeah. Stuff like bobsledding, they have to get the routes different for every single Olympics. So they essentially have to get there and start practicing the route so they can get the best times and stuff like that. So they like to be there a little bit early, and they'll catch some of the pre-games and the pre-test runs of them seeing who's the fastest at that time.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
So it'll still be kind of interesting to watch on my end. I don't know about you, but
See, the thing that I'm most interested about is the whole North Korea South Korea joint Korean team.
Oh, they're doing a joint Korean team. I did not know that.
Yeah, they
yeah,
are.
they're
And
joining both teams.
The way that, as far as I know, everything that I've read and researched into it so far, the team is actually getting along really well. Not as much infighting as
Some
I
fear.
suspected there would be.
I feel like that's more the people than the actual.
It's more in case it's more if they encounter, the U.S. in the Olympics. Kind of my concern. Bit of bad news on Canada's end. We're facing them in women's hockey, which
They're going to lose horribly.
What do we know about women's hockey in the Canadian Olympics?
Haven't
they
That
won for the
we've
last-
won almost every fucking year?
Yeah, when was the last time the women's hockey team lost? That's a better question.
The first year
6.
that it was introduced,
That's it?
we lost, and then we have won every one since. In fact, a lot of other countries have often commissioned to say, "Hey, let's remove women's hockey
Mhm.
because Canada always wins." It's like, no,
No.
let
Just
us
get
win.
better.
We have very little to be proud of. Our women's hockey team is one of them.
Fair enough.
Just get better noobs.
Just get better
There
noobs.
is
Try
no-
harder.
Yeah, Karen women's hockey.
John, you've completely lagged out, and now everybody's lagging out. This is fun. You all look like
You
pixel
want
messes.
us to stop winning.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't know, John lives up in bumfuck nowhere, up in somewhere middle of nowhere. So he just drops out internet connection every now and again. So what I'm gonna do is, there you go. Ah, you're back.
Oh, there you are.
I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're
Kind
back.
of.
That's my whole rant on Canadian hockey.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
Ah,
we got
shit.
all of it. We're the best. Everyone else.
Everybody sucks. We're the best. GG rip.
Yeah. I think the issue was I had our Twitch stream going as well, and as you know, my internet sucks
Ah.
major ass.
Yeah,
So-
you should know better.
No. You're just along for the ride, John. We'll worry about everything. We'll worry about all the back end stuff.
Okay, that sounds good. So as you can see, Colin and Phil are both using new microphones.
Ooh.
Yes. We are using.
Want to tell us a little bit about that?
We are using newer. Hold on. N100s. They're like your entry level.
700.
700s, something like that. They're entry level
It is.
program.
NW700.
NW700. Thank you, Phil. And that is our new podcast microphones. They're not spectacular, but they're good entry level equipment. I think it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm still using my Shure Motive MV51.
And why is that, John?
Because Purelator is the fucking worst.
Yeah, it's still stuck.
Yeah.
It got not lost in the mail, but it was delayed in the mail, even though we paid to have it delivered by midday today.
Mhm.
So I contacted Purelator, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to do anything for you." It's like, well,
Wow.
shit.
That sucks.
Should you call Amazon to get a refund or something?
Haven't called Amazon yet because technically it was Colin that ordered it for me because I don't have
Right.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I heard it for them.
uh,
I paid them $4 extra to get there on time, and they failed
Right?
us.
And it's not here. I mean, I love my microphone. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
we're not matching.
We're not.
Yeah,
We're not all
it's all-
matching people.
Everyone knows a good podcast is all about aesthetic.
Clearly.
How good we all.
Hence
Clearly.
why I'm
Doesn't
shooting.
matter about the content.
Yeah, content's unimportant. We can ramble about literally nothing. It's aesthetic. That's what
As
matters.
long as we're
Exactly.
1080 and
Number
Good
one most
audio.
important. That's why we started the show with Phil swigging a beer and me swigging cough syrup.
Yeah, and all three of you having god awful cameras.
all three of us.
I've got the best camera out of all of us. I just don't know how to set it
Yeah.
up to my computer.
Fair
No,
enough.
Colin's cheating. If
Yeah,
you
I'm
actually
cheating.
look in the if you look in the Discord chat, he's just a blown out mess.
Yeah, on the Discord chat, I look.
He's using an Xbox Connect
No.
to
No.
chat with us.
No, this is the Xbox Vision camera. This is pre-Connect. This is like 2007 when they were like, you can like show your dick on Uno. Here's a camera. That's the camera I'm using to talk to you guys in Discord. But for that,
I'm sorry. What was that example you just gave us?
you want to show your dick in Uno? Did you not know that? That was a major problem. That's
Show
what.
your dick. Uno?
In
Like,
Uno on Xbox?
Oh yeah, so okay, on the original Xbox, 360, on the Xbox 360, did you not know this story? Okay.
No.
like Uno.
Yeah. So there's a digital version of Uno on the Xbox 360 that came with it. It was like packaged in with the console.
Hold on, you just have a pack of Uno cards laying around by your couch?
I do. They're Ghostbusters Uno, but it's the new shitty Ghostbusters,
Oh, that's
not, the classic amazing movie.
That's unfortunate. But the point I was getting at, yeah, it was like Uno, the digital version, had basically this like thing where you could like put your avatar there, or you could put a photo of your face. And people are like, you can face chat everybody, so you can see your face when you play the cards, and oh no, you lost or you won or whatever. And then obviously it's the internet, so everybody just showed their dicks.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Like, remember Omegle?
Yeah,
Omegle?
same deal.
Yes.
It's like,
exactly
hey,
thing.
I'm gonna go out and chat with people. Nope.
Yeah, it's just dicks,
everywhere.
not aesthetic.
I mean, did anyone ever really go on Omegle for anything else?
To meet
Yeah.
friends,
Meet random people, say hi.
meet
Just
new people. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people who just go onto that website or random like chat sites like that just roulette through people, like just to meet people and just talk, just something to do to kill time.
Those people
Fair
are
enough.
crazy.
Those
I
people-
consider those people crazy.
So like every person in elementary school, like that's what my friends did in high school. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, then that's not really that different than meeting someone on Tinder.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's slightly
Fair
more
enough.
controlled on Tinder, but only slightly.
Yeah, who goes on Tinder to meet girls?
All three of us.
No. Phil didn't meet his girlfriend through.
I met mine the old-fashioned way.
Colin
The
did.
old-fashioned
Phil
way.
did not.
The
Yeah.
old-fashioned.
The old-fashioned way. Went to school together.
Yeah.
Got drunk.
Yeah. Do we want to retell that story,
awkwardly
Phil, about how that
relationship.
happened?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that'll hard pass on that one. That's a story for another day. Okay,
Another day.
back on
See, I was just
topic.
guessing. I don't even know the story.
You were there. Oh no, you weren't there. You were kind of there.
I was
You were
kinda
real-
there.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to get back on topic?
I was like really
please.
shit-faced.
Yeah. That was we were talking about, was it Super Bowl or was it something before that? No, Black Panther. You had something about the Black Panther you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, are we in show mode now?
Oh yeah, we're in show mode. We're starting. We
Oh,
are
cool.
good to rock and
Thanks for the
roll.
heads up. We were just shooting the shit for the past hour. All right, yeah. So there's a current petition on change.org involving Black Panther, basically saying it's calling all DCEU fans, the DC Extended Universe, to rally together and just bomb Black Panther's Rotten Tomatoes as payback for Rotten Tomato sabotaging the DCEU movies and giving Justice League, Batman v Superman, and Man of Steel and Suicide Squad terrible reviews.
That doesn't make any sense at all. That isn't what? Because they
Isn't
didn't.
Rotten Tomatoes owned by Warner Brothers?
Yeah,
It
it's
is
Or at
owned by
least
Warner
part of
Brothers.
them?
also isn't it like a thing where it's just like it's aggregate scores? That's like trying to get Reddit deleted because people downvoted your post.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just what
Here's-
people say.
This is like one of my takeaways from it though is we've had a couple Marvel movies coming out in the last year. We just had Thor Ragnarok, we had Spider-Man Homecoming, and we're getting Avengers, not 1 month, 2 months actually. Math. 2 months after Black Panther. Why are you trying to do this to Black Panther? The
Yeah, it's
first
so-
major all-black superhero movie.
Makes you look kind of racist.
It is the worst time to do it.
Makes you look really racist. And the fact of the matter is, all of the early reviews are in for Black Panther, and everyone who's seen it, like in Hollywood so far, has said it's amazing.
Yeah,
You know
but they
what?
said that about Star Wars.
But according to Rotten Tomatoes, it's not right.
Yeah, but Rotten Tomatoes is corrupt, and they pay off people to praise Marvel.
Praise
Look,
Marvel
here's the
movies.
thing. I looked it up, and Wonder Woman has an amazing score on Rotten Tomatoes because guess what?
It's a good movie. What
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that was a long dramatic pause there.
Yeah, way too long. I thought you cut out there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
people are
no,
just saying
it's a
that.
good movie.
People are just saying
Um,
that, oh, it's a fanboy thing. Like, you just like Marvel, you like everything they put out. It's like, no, DC movies just aren't cutting it. They're not very
Yeah,
good.
it's like there's only a few Marvel movies I would actually say are really good. Most of them are just they're decent, fun
They're-
adventure movies.
I wouldn't watch
Only
them
a
the second
couple
time.
stand out as being really, really good.
I would say most Marvel movies are actually kind of like they're so mediocre to a point, like not like just okay, not mediocre, but just so okay that you're starting to develop burnout. Like I couldn't even watch Doctor Strange. I said this earlier, where it's just like
Which
you
one?
can't Doctor Strange
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because you just burn out on it. You see it and you're
Doctor
all
Strange
like,
is just Iron Man rebooted.
yeah, pretty much. It's very very similar to Iron Man, unfortunately.
And I don't want to sound like the one who's gonna bag Black Panther, but to me, I think I'm just burnt out of Marvel movies and superhero movies in general. It doesn't look that good to me.
Oh yeah,
See,
no,
I don't know. I'm the opposite.
I'm hoping
I
it. I'm
want
really
to see
hoping it
Black
is good.
Panther. It's kind of sparking my interest, and I mean, I've always been interested in superhero movies. I always
Yeah,
will be.
for
But
sure.
Black Panther is making me think, ooh, this looks different. Not just because it's an all black movie, but because it looks different. It looks interesting. It looks colorful.
they changed the
doesn't-
camera.
Yeah.
They changed the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, they said
Yeah,
they.
no, because
well, I
all the
think-
other Marvel movies are like all gray and washed out and look really dull, with
So
the
it looks
exception
really
of like
neon and
Guardians
cool.
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, well,
And the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie is really good because it embraces the different.
oh yeah,
So
100%.
if Black Panther
be
embraces
fair,
the different as well.
I'm not even excited for Infinity Wars that much. I think it's taken way too long to get to this point, and now when it's
Yeah,
done, I'm
I
like,
don't know.
all right, I'm good.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
kind of you reach Infinity War. It's supposed to be the climax of everything. You're kind of.
That's it. I'm done after that. I don't
Yeah.
think I can watch
It's like
anymore.
I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be the climax, but you've announced all these other movies happening after it, including
Yeah, the second they did that, it ruined all the
fourth
hype
Avengers
towards it.
movie. So how are we supposed to, where are the stakes in this movie if we know all these other movies that are coming in after it?
And then they said that there's no more part 2. So I'm like, all right, well that's it then.
Yeah.
What do I care about?
You don't, basically.
Yeah.
And on that topic, moving on from movie trailers in general are really starting to kind of bog movie going down. We were talking before the show was getting started about how Netflix released the Cloverfield trailer the same day they released the movie.
Which is cool. That's an interesting way to do it. Like the concept of like the cycle speeding up a lot. Because this is the second film that third film that Netflix has made.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
because
what?
they also made
Right.
Oh, we're talking about Netflix
Stupid
movie.
Gesture, which I just
Okay.
watched. And again, they released the trailer actually the same day as that movie. And that's what I saw the trailer come up as I turned on Netflix. And oh, this looks interesting. So I added it to my list. And then when I had 2 hours of time, I watched it. Really good movie.
No, Netflix has made more than 3 movies.
Movies, yeah.
I think
They
they
made-
made more.
They made
A lot
tons.
more.
The concept of that Netflix is starting to make movies is
Yes,
interesting.
the Polka King is a thing.
Yeah. But the fact that they're
Actually,
just
and those Adam Sandler movies are Netflix original.
yes,
There's a
yeah.
lot of movies.
Oh yeah, they are Netflix. I try to forget about those. Sorry.
Everyone does.
Yeah. But just in general, the concept of this like high turnaround cycle is a really smart way to do it. And Netflix, I mean, releasing an advertisement on the Super Bowl and then like as soon as the game's over, they're like, you can watch it live. I mean, that's brilliant marketing for a movie.
But then look at a movie like Solo and how
Solo.
they
Oh.
just released a teaser and a trailer. They released a teaser in the Super Bowl, the trailer the day after. And I mean, people have heard nothing but negative things about this movie. And the fact is, the movie is opening in a couple of months. And this is the first little bit of the trailer that we're seeing.
It doesn't look
It's
good.
Kinda,
It was
no,
a wash
doesn't
the
look good.
second it was announced, though.
What's that?
It was a wash the second it was announced. Like nobody really cared about this movie.
It's like, we know how this movie ends. Why do we care? It's following back into like the prequel trilogy. It's why, as much as I enjoyed Rogue One, the movie had no stakes because I was like, I know how this ends.
you know
I-
exactly how it's gonna end.
I disagree. You can do the prequel thing, like I know the way this ends well, but not the way they're doing it. That's the main issue. You have to make sure you come into this like you know how this ends, but you don't know how it happened, and
Yeah.
it's this. It's instead of being the story of how the rebellion was formed, it's the story of how they got the Death Star plans. Which did anybody really ever ask that question? Was anybody ever like, oh, okay, lots of Bothan dies to get these plans. That's it. That's all anybody asked. Nobody, they didn't answer the question of how was the rebellion formed? What does a rebellion exist? How do you transition? It's answered the question of how we got the Death Star plans, which nobody really asked.
No.
And that's the issue. You have to figure out what people want to know, and you have to answer those questions, which I think
I know, the issue with the Solo movie is it's like, hey, how did Han get the Millennium Falcon? How did he meet Chewbacca? It's like, they've already kind of said it. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Han won the Falcon from Lando. Han owes Chewie a life debt. That's all we need. It's falling back into the original prequels.
Wait,
where
it is
instead of where Obi-Wan has that line in A New Hope where he's like, oh, Anakin was a great Jedi. He was a strong pilot. He was a good friend. Boom. That's all we needed to get the idea that Anakin was this great and powerful Jedi that was somehow seduced and tricked into the dark side. But instead we got 2 movies of Hayden Christensen whining like a little bitch and Phantom Menace, which is just, it's unimportant to literally everything that happens.
You don't give that movie enough credit. Darth Maul
technically.
was amazing.
Listen.
Darth
Duel
Maul is nothing but a guy that knows how to dance.
of Fates. Don't care.
Duel of Fates. Okay, Duel of Fates. You know what? We do have a special coming out later this month that is me and Colin getting into Star Wars. So maybe we'll just leave that there.
Leave it there.
But overall,
Overall, we're not excited for Solo.
trailer is a complete fucking mess. And
So
I do not
Donald
want to
Glover
see
looks
this
really cool though.
Yeah.
Donald Glover
yeah.
does look really cool.
He
And
might be the only saving grace of this movie.
Yeah.
I know, it's like to get someone to replace Billy D. Williams, one of the coolest guys in Star Wars, or just period. Hard to do. Donald Glover,
Might be able to
that
pull
was
it
a
off.
solid choice.
Yeah.
That was
I
a
just-
solid choice.
It just also
I feel
be
like anytime they come out with a new Star Wars movie, it gets more.
Okay, you cut out there, Phil. Nobody understood a word you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
You
Say
cut
that
out.
again.
Anytime we get a new Star Wars movie, there's like more and more spacey, kind of weird.
Yeah.
fancy thing.
It's getting less. It feels less and less like Star Wars, and feels more and
Yeah.
more just weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing. You ever notice?
CGI
I was
bullshit.
talking about like the same thing with like how I talk about the spaceships don't feel right. It just the Star Wars feel seems to be slipping away bit by bit
Yeah,
by
there was
bit.
like a dancing gold woman robot thing, and I was like, "What the fuck is
Did
this?"
you not watch episode 6? That's a thing.
Is it?
Yeah, we don't like to talk
Yeah,
about
the
it.
dancing women. Yeah.
The
And they
CGI
were fighting-
dancing.
Yeah, they were fighting on a train and everything. It was just weird.
Jedi
Yeah.
Rock.
Jedi Rock.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Can we
I
go?
don't know.
We want to talk about more Super Bowl ads? That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Super Bowl ads.
There's a
What are some
controversial
ones
one, a
that's-
couple fun ones. I'll start with one that was kind of fun. Did you guys see the Jeep anti-manifesto ad?
No.
It was
The
literally
Jeep ad.
yeah. So it's like a Jeep ad. Normally Jeep ads are pretty predictable. Like they had one that was the that was for the new Jurassic World trailer where they had Jeff Goldblum driving around in a Jeep and they're like, hey, it's the movie you like and the Jeep you like. They're together and Jeff Goldblum. It's awesome. But
Jeff
Do you want to
Goldblum
take
does
this for a
make
test
it
drive?
awesome.
yeah,
That's the perfect ad.
yeah, exactly, just like that. But they also have the anti-manifestos. Usually, like advertisements have like a theme, and they state the theme, and that's like the core thesis to the story, or the core thesis to the ad. They're like, "This is the anti-manifesto," and it's just the Jeep rock crawling up like a vertical surface, and then driving over, and you're like, "There you go, that's your thesis." And then the ad ends. It was great.
It's
All
pretty
right,
good.
that's not bad. Phil, you got one?
The weirdest one for me was the Hyundai ad.
Yeah.
Did you guys
How'd that
watch it?
go?
Oh yeah, yeah. So they,
Okay,
I'll
so-
tell you, to be completely honest, I've only watched one ad, and it's going to be the one that I'm.
Okay, fair enough. Hello.
hello, you're still
Sorry,
there?
everyone just cut- Oh, okay. I thought I just cut out there.
No, we all stopped.
Yeah, so it starts off with people are walking into the Super Bowl stadium going through security and these heart monitors flash on the metal detectors and they bring them into this separate room and you think that they're going to interrogate them or whatever. And then people come in and start talking about how Hyundai is donating their profits to cancer and everything and it gets really emotional.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, and then
what
it
is it?
ends, and it's just really weird because you just watch Jeff Goldblum get outrun a T-Rex and everything, and then Hyundai comes out and like, buy a Hyundai or children will die.
Actually, you know what? I want to come back to that in one sec. Did you just say Jeff Goldblum outrun a T-Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Or did
He chases the
walk at a
T.
brisk pace.
Yeah, he ends up chasing the T-Rex. So.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because just gonna go science nerd here on you. The average T-Rex, based on its height and weight, would only run at a max of about 4.5-ish kilometers an hour. So a human at a brisk pace.
Really?
Yep.
That's good to know.
I did not. Yeah.
No, in the ad, he's going what looks like to be, 40, 50, 60 kilometers an hour over rough terrain. Fast enough that you'd need a Jeep Wrangler to be able to escape.
Yeah.
But point is, buy a Hyundai or children die.
Yes,
Yeah, pretty much. By
pretty
how
much.
our children die.
Yeah, because
And then everyone in the bar is just kind of tearing up, and it's weird.
because it's really
It's
sad
weird.
because it's a full like in-depth thing. It's like it's a minute long ad, and they're all like, I used to have this type of cancer, but thanks to donations from Hyundai, I'm able to beat it, and I lost
You
this.
know what? It is exactly what Chevy ads should be.
Oh god, Chevy ads are the worst.
You know when they bring them into a room and they're like, "Oh, I thought this was an Audi." No part of that car looks like a fucking Audi, Janet.
No.
Relax.
Like no,
No.
it looks like a piece of shit. The piece of shit Chevy that it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just it's bad. It's those ads are awful. And speaking of ads that maybe not awful but definitely upset people, John's.
Yeah, so this was pretty much the only ad that I watched. I unfortunately don't have cable or decent internet, so I couldn't watch this. But I heard about this controversy, so I had to watch the ad, and it was the Dodge ad. Started with Martin Luther King quote.
It's a whole
So they're
speech.
Trucks. Yeah, it's
Which is
and
oh, go ahead.
who buys Dodge Rams?
Rednecks.
Rednecks.
Yeah.
Why would you use a Martin
It
Luther
wasn't the "I have a
King
dream"
Jr.?
speech, right?
No.
Yeah.
It was to serve.
Oh, okay. So
The thing about it that's kind of that I see people either Dodge is trying to do FCA. Let's just go. That's Fiat Chrysler Associations. They're the guys who manage all of Dodge, Ram, Jeep, all of them.
right.
The two theories I have is either one, they were trying to diversify their market by basically saying, hey, if you like truth and liberty, you can buy a Ram truck, basically, right? Stuff like that. And
But that's pandering.
yeah, it's pandering, so it's going to come off as pandering. Or the other thing is maybe they're trying to troll everybody a little bit and kind of annoy people a tad bit by using a speech that's
Comes across as offensive.
yes, but think about the engagement.
Yeah.
News is-
so. I don't know. Either way you look at it, they kind of come across as a dick.
Yep,
But they do have everyone talking about it.
exactly.
I mean, I watched the trailer just as you were speaking about it. It's not a bad trailer.
That's the thing that it's not.
Fucking commercial. It's not a bad commercial. It's just kind of weird that they have like all these people that would normally buy a Dodge Ram, and then black people randomly scattered in the middle of it,
Yeah.
doing nothing that has to do with buying a truck.
It's kind of odd. It's a little all over the place, but I mean, think about it this way. Out of all, I'm pretty sure FCA has dominated the Super Bowl car ad sphere because nobody remembers any of the other ads except for the Jeep one where they drive a Jeep up the side of a cliff, the Ram one that was offensive, and then a weird one with Vikings that nobody remembers. Like they dominated most of the car space ad except for Kia with their buy a Kia or kids die, basically.
It was Hyundai. They're
Hyundai?
completely different companies.
They're owned by the same company. It doesn't matter.
Yes, I know.
They-
They use the same parts and everything.
Yeah, they're completely interchangeable. Literally replaceable vehicles.
Yeah, same SKU numbers. No, I think the Dodge was trying to go with there's a lot of people kneeling during the national anthem now. Let's just, include a black guy to narrate this commercial. And they missed the mark completely.
Oh, actually, going off that, national anthem.
I did not see it.
National anthem has been changed.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yes, I heard.
It doesn't make
And
it.
all
It,
thy sons command, and all of us command.
it doesn't
It
flow.
just sounds weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't flow.
It's grammatically incorrect.
In all of us. In all of us. No, that doesn't sound right.
I mean also like I don't know. I mean is anybody people do ask their sons to fight and die for their country, but typically don't ask their daughters to die for their country.
Well, the whole thing, it was during World War II.
No, way beforehand. Way
The song's
beforehand.
Way
actually
before,
from
right.
1908.
Oh yeah.
Right, so before.
Which interesting enough, the original French one didn't have any references to God in it.
Yeah, no one's upset about the God thing.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit. Yeah, there was no references to God in the original French version, but when they translated to English, they added it in. Just throw that in there. Well, I mean, not saying that the French weren't religious. It's just that they didn't put it in their national anthem.
Right.
Which is
I mean, I don't really... The only time you really sing the anthem is when you're a kid and at sporting events.
yeah, and even at sporting events. The
Yeah,
fact that
but
they're
basically,
there.
all the Canadian athletes are being asked to sing the new national anthem at the Olympics.
someone's gonna forget, and then they're gonna get in trouble, which is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It just seems like if you're gonna, it seems like an odd focus point, I guess. It seems like it's not really gonna make a difference. Like people don't sing the national anthem, hear "All Thy Sons Command," and think, "Oh yeah, because women aren't important." Like I don't think
Yeah,
that's
like yeah.
No,
'cause that's the implication, though, right? If you don't mention women in the national anthem, you say that's not important. Which there's a minor point to that, but I think more realistically, it's not there.
But here's the thing, though. "O Canada" officially became our national anthem in 1980, and since then it has 12 times.
It's been changed.
It's been changed.
Has to change those lyrics,
That's a lot.
and this is the first time that it's actually gone.
What was that?
Oh, it was the spring. I was adjusting it. Sorry, I should.
Nice.
My mic there.
We're very professional.
Very
here,
professional.
I see.
Very professional. 10 out of 10. Either way, we're talking about national anthem, how it's been changed, and I mean, like, we'll get used to it. Like I said, it's been changed. We said 12 times, right? So I mean, it's just another change. It's not a huge.
No, it's been requested specifically that line be changed 12 times.
Okay,
this
that's
is the first time it's actually happened.
That's enough to
Oh.
justify
Yeah.
a change. That if people say 12 times, how many times have people argued to have the part about God changed?
Probably not that many.
Okay.
It's only been fairly recently that atheism is.
I don't know, just as
bigger.
from my experience, I find Canadians are a little less pricey when it comes to politics and stuff. Americans are all like, "Oh, rah, rah, we're God's country." Canada's like, "Hey, we're cool, eh? Yeah, sure, God might be
cool.
there, but hey, we're cool, eh?"
Yeah, which is weird though, because there's actually more direct references to to God in a lot of Canadian things than in an American one for like our laws and stuff like that. Because the Queen and stuff and the Commonwealth and all of it were associated to that stuff. Can we change the subject? This is getting very, very heated very quickly.
Yeah, well, you know what? On the topic of Canada,
Trudeau?
Our PM?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us what our fearful leader is doing?
Fearful, nice. So Prime Minister Trudeau has changed the has corrected a lady who said mankind to say people kind, which okay, I mean like he might have stumbled it, but people seem to really genuinely like clap and applaud and say that was a really good thing you did. But people kind doesn't make any sense. It should be
First off, it's humankind.
Yeah,
which is
Mr.
humankind.
Trudeau.
It's the humankind is the appropriate
unless people get offended at saying human because it's got
They
MAN.
don't. They don't identify as human.
I don't identify as human. I identify as my Ghostbusters Uno cards.
And now we're kicked off Twitch. No, but but the concept though of calling it people kind doesn't make any sense because it should be humankind is the full term. Mankind is just a short form of humankind. A and B. People is a plural. Man is a singular. It should be person kind, not people kind. If you're gonna go for the use of that particular word, it's person kind, not people kind. So either way you slice it, you're wrong, which is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't think people actually got. I know that it was a thing where they wanted to change that word mankind to humankind, but I didn't think it was
like
that big of an issue.
That's been dealt with over like 10 years ago. It's like it's been humankind for a while now.
Yeah, but mankind, I feel like, is still acceptable. Like, if you say it, no one's going to be like, hey, you're wrong.
Well,
all the SJWs are going to tell you you're wrong.
Well, unless you're Trudeau, then yes.
He'll tell you you're wrong. I can't tell. That's the thing that gets me Trudeau, is I can't tell if he genuinely believes these things or if he's just pandering to a demographic that seems to be very vocal.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I like a lot of how Trudeau acts and stuff like that, but I'll say like you, sometimes it's hard to tell. It's like, okay, I like what you're doing here. Are you doing this because you actually believe it or because everyone else does?
Yeah, are you pandering to...
I mean, yes, he is one of the youngest prime ministers we've had, but
he's not that young. He just looks young.
Andrew Scheer.
I guess that's the thing. He does just look.
He's like he's only like a year too younger than Stephen Harper was at the same time. Just Stephen Harper went totally gray.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, just in comparison to the senile old Nazi they have down south.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's young and energetic and accepting.
Yes, but also they both pander just to opposite sides of the spectrum, which is the crazy part that like America and Canada don't at this time both abandoned, like almost at the same time, Canada and the United States abandoned a fairly central left or central right leader for a far right and a far-ish left leader at the same time.
It's always far right. There's no such thing as right or central right.
There's center right. No, there was 100%.
No, it's just far right. No, if you're right, it's far right.
Oh, okay, you're parodying. Okay, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
No, there's no such thing.
It's officially offensive to have some conservative beliefs now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a song, and I don't know the name of it or the band. John can probably quote me on this, but in the song he goes, "The far right, the left view." Do you know what that song is?
Far right, the left view?
Yeah.
No, never heard of that before.
It plays on the edge all the time.
Huh.
But it's a perfect example of there is no such thing as the middle right. It is just far right.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not. This is the crazy part.
No, that is a song. It is a lyric.
Oh no, it's a song. Yeah, I just can't tell if you're being serious right now.
No, because anytime anyone references the right, it's the far
right. Yeah, it's
far right group.
It's the guys who are saying Hail Victory and walking around and giving Nazi salutes. Yeah.
Yeah, only those people.
Only those people. Yeah.
Only. Yeah.
Ugh. We are so getting our asses kicked off Twitch today.
100%.
100% never getting affiliated. All of our sponsors are getting canceled.
Something else Trudeau said right after that People Kind thing. Someone asked him how he will defend Canadians from ISIS, and Trudeau, in all his glory, stood up and said, and he started comparing ISIS immigrants to Italian immigrants back in the day when they were immigrating to Montreal, and how we need to support immigration.
Okay, are we talking about ISIS immigrants or Islamic immigrants? Because there is a drastic difference.
The dude just asked, how are you going to defend against ISIS? And he started an immigration speech. And it's like, yeah, that's nice, but that's not the question that was asked.
Not ISIS.
Yeah, not ISIS.
And this is another thing that separates Canada from the U.S. is we know a difference between immigration and terrorism.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
Apparently Trudeau doesn't.
Apparently not.
Because he just, when given the question, how will you defend against ISIS, he kept saying about basically Islamic immigration, which is a separate thing. He's asking, hey, because his probably question was, you've stopped sending troops other than a couple trainers and special forces, training officers. You've stopped sending troops to Syria and various other countries. He says, how are we going to fight? What are you going to do to stop ISIS? You know, and Trudeau starts talking about immigration, which, like,
back in the day when Italians were immigrants.
Wait, the only connection he could possibly make was like Italian immigration during the 1940s when like Italy was allied with Germany during World War II, maybe.
Right, and there was racism towards them,
but otherwise he doesn't really have a leg to stand on. It's like they're two sides.
I think he was
missed the mark on issue.
I think he was expecting a question about some sort of unthought out question about immigration, like, oh, if we let these Muslims in, we're going to be letting terrorists in, like something like that, and then he could just totally diffuse it, like
that's like what he had prepped for, and he didn't want to think on the fly, maybe.
Yeah, well, I think he just misinterpreted the question, maybe misheard or whatever, and just like he came in with his standard issue, like, oh yeah, you can't look at, immigrants as bad guys. You have to look at it as a more complex issue, which is a fair point to make. But he totally misses the question, which just looks.
Well, if you ask Trudeau any question that he's not prepared to answer, it becomes this thing that he just constantly is answering the question about
Yeah, he tends to.
This is why I loved Barack Obama as a speaker. He pauses a lot because he ponders every word.
It gives you that
he says.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hello, my fellow American.
Do you know who I cannot stand speeches of though? Is Donald Trump. His are like not even with his content. He could be telling, even when he's quote unquote presidential, like, and he's just saying things that any president ever would say. That's just really boring. Whatever. It's painful to listen to, in my opinion.
It really is.
Yeah, I only like watching it for when he has to take a drink and he with his little claw hands.
Little fingers.
His little fingers.
Pretty much.
I've seen him drink a glass of water. It's the strangest thing.
Yeah, it's odd.
It's tremendous.
Please don't do your poor Trump impersonation. It's always nobody has a good Trump impersonation except for who's the guy who did this
Alec
now?
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin, yeah. Everybody else's Trump impersonation is terrible.
Usually just ends up with people squinting and saying it's tremendous.
What do you mean? Mine's the best. It's the best ever.
Is that Donald Trump or Arnold Schwarzenegger after getting hit in the head?
Well, if it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, it'd sound like this.
Okay.
It's louder.
Next
I think
topic.
that's a good time to call it.
Yeah.
What's our
We're set.
topic?
Next topic. We had one more, wasn't it? No, wait.
Junos.
Junos.
Do we not have-
Oh yeah. DFA
Junos.
got awarded for best album.
What's that?
Death from Above, 1979, got a Juno Award for or nominee for best rock album.
Nomination.
Yeah.
That's good.
Rock
And so
album.
did Glorious Sons for rock album too.
But you know who
good.
we're
The
missing?
new Glorious Sons album is amazing.
Yeah, but we're missing a key competitor here.
Oh yeah, the Arkells, right?
No, Nickelback.
Oh god, don't remind me.
Nickelback is up for Rock Album of the Year for Feed the Machine.
I
You
mean,
know what?
it's
You know what?
it's the
It's
least
a decent album.
it's the least offensive Nickelback album in a while.
Yeah, it sucks the least.
Yeah.
And you know what? The first single, which I think is just called "Feed the Machine,"
Yep.
it's actually decent.
I didn't
Yeah.
like it.
Like it was a decent rock song.
What? You don't like it? It's actually pretty good.
No, I didn't like it. I couldn't get into it. Here's the thing, though. Talking back about the Glorious Sons, I want to talk about because John says the album's really good. The album has some good singles off of it, but a lot of the core album is just like I'm not a huge fan of it.
I haven't heard a song that I didn't like on it.
Okay. Have you heard Union before it? The album before.
Oh yeah, I love Union. Like I will say, yeah, Union is probably a better album.
Union just sounds like a bunch of rip-offs of famous rock songs.
No, it doesn't.
Haven't you heard the intro to like the first song on that album? It's literally just a Who cover.
What's the first one?
I can't- I off the top of my head I can't remember, but it sounds a lot like a Who cover. It's
Hold on,
unfortunate.
I'm pulling it up now.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think honestly, I want DFA to win because Outrageous now has like one song I dislike on it, and everything else is great. But I don't. The other songs might end up beating it out. I don't quite know.
I'm just
Hold on.
looking through.
Don't you play that into the microphone, John?
I've got it set up.
Are you playing it?
He's playing it. It's gonna be top tier stuff.
That sounds so good. That sounds like an NXS song.
That's like clearly the Who. Isn't that Pinball Wizard?
That is not If
Dude, that sounds like the intro to.
you're thinking of
it's
Who,
CSI
that would
Miami.
be Won't Get Fooled Again.
Won't Get Fooled Again. Thank you.
Yeah, that
But-
is exactly what it sounds like.
It's Won't Get Fooled Again. They literally
Yeah,
just did Won't Get
it's
Fooled
not.
Again and changed
It
the
is,
lyrics.
It is.
It is Won't Get Fooled Again. It's identical. It's so much like it when the chorus rolls in, you're like, what even is this
Yeah.
nonsense?
I'm just waiting for Horatio Kane to pop out. That's all.
Yeah.
No. So Artist of the Year. Do you guys want to know who's up for Artist of the Year?
Eisen,
Yeah, let's hear who's up for Artist of the Year.
So it is Daniel Caesar, Lights.
Who?
Yeah, thank
Lights,
you.
I know Lights.
Lights. Ruth B. Don't know who that is.
Okay, I know
Shania
Ruth
Twain.
B.
Shania Twain? What year is this?
Shania, really?
And
I know she's made a comeback.
And we might as well just send the letter in the mail now. Gord Downey.
Oh yeah, go down. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
He
Gord
is
Downey's
100%
obviously
gonna
going to win
win. Yeah.
Is it Artist of the Year?
Artist of the Year.
Yeah, he's gonna get a postmortem award.
Oh
So-
yeah, for sure.
So does it go to his estate or his grave?
that. That's dark.
I don't know where they mail it.
Dark.
That's right.
I don't know where they mail it.
I mean, I would assume his estate.
Yeah.
Or his family would get it, right?
Yeah,
But if he
it's
doesn't
definitely-
win, that's the biggest slap in the face.
No,
But then again, it's kind of annoying that he did win because now everyone's
Well,
caring about Gord Downey.
it's Gord Downey winning, not the Tragically Hip. And Gord Downey did do a lot with the
He
peace
did.
and
He
reconciliation movement
Yes.
and that whole performance that he did. So
Johnny
if
Wednesday.
Gord Downey wins it, I think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If Tragically Hip win it, that's not okay.
Yeah. If Shania Twain wins it,
That's weird.
You're just gonna throw.
that's strange.
That would be very odd if Shania Twain won it.
But
'Cause-
I definitely think Ruth B should win.
Yeah. No, Daniel Caesar for sure. I love his music.
Who is Daniel Caesar?
I've never heard of this guy ever in my life.
Like, I listen to Top 40 all day long for work. I have never heard of this guy in my life.
It might not be top 40. It might be something else like rap or
Damn.
R&B or some other genre that's a little bit like not as well. Like a lot of those genres get dominated by American acts.
Canadian
That is true.
singer-songwriter Daniel Caesar.
Your girl Alicia Carr is up for
Oh,
Daniel
man.
Caesar is great. Thank you. My girlfriend says Daniel Caesar was great.
Okay.
Good
Just
to.
kind of
Wanna
listening.
listen,
Yeah,
Carl?
he's pretty good.
Oh, you're playing it right now.
Actually, yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
What
Okay.
kind of music is it?
It's kind of like I would classify it as soul,
So okay.
right?
I told you
Soul
it's one of the
kinda
smaller
chill.
genres. It's gonna be who was under Breakout Artist of the Year? Like someone it was oh no, they had
Breakout artist.
under Breakout Artist.
Alan Raymond and Jessie Reyes are my top two. Jessie Reyes is probably gonna win because she has a strange voice and everyone loves when you sing about human rights. So
Who is this again? Because I was gonna say, isn't the Beaches in there?
no,
No.
Breakout Artist- Jessie
Wait,
Reyes.
Who's the Beach?
Beaches?
Yeah, the Beaches. Who are they under? Who are they? They're out for something. Oh, best breakout group, not artist group.
Breakout group. Yeah.
But the Beaches have been around for a while.
Yeah, but they toured with DFA
Like,
and they got
while.
yeah, I know, but they toured with DFA and they got that single Money to break out. Like
Dude,
break, it's not
The Weeknd has. Oh, go ahead.
good. Okay,
Oh,
breakout
The
doesn't
Weeknd
mean
has-
that. Breakout doesn't mean that you are a new act on the scene. Breakout means that you have a hit that puts you on the map. That people know
Yeah.
about you, and
Okay.
it's Money
Right.
put Beaches on the scene.
Yeah.
Right.
but-
Phil, what were you saying about the weekend?
For single of the year, we have the Weeknd's "I Feel It Coming," and I feel like "I Feel It
Terrible
Coming."
song.
It's been out for like 5 years, hasn't it? How old is that song?
It's
I don't know, but all Weekend songs sound the same, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it: the Weekend is not a good artist.
No, he's not.
It's kind of rapey.
Yeah,
little
very rapey. He sings about Selena Gomez's ass before he started dating Selena Gomez, and I find that the funniest thing.
Did he
That is
actually?
really creepy.
Yeah. In one of his songs, he talks about ass shaped like Selena, and I'm like, well, hold on, that was made before you guys started dating. How did this happen?
Well, that's they see when Justin Bieber was going through all that stuff. That was wise because she was actually seeing The Weeknd. Probably, I don't know, maybe.
But group of the year, A Tribe Called Red is up there, and if they don't win, I'd be pretty upset.
Isn't that like native group that you like?
Yes, love them. Thank you, Bernard LaRue from first year editing class, for playing that one song on full blast and then leaving the room for 30 minutes. If it wasn't for that moment, I would have never found that band.
Phil, you're wrong. It wasn't Ass Like Selena. It was Ass Like SZA.
SZA.
Yeah, the R&B artist.
SZA.
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 Ass like SZA. No, it's ass shaped like Selena.
Is that what you're getting at? I don't know. You're looking up the lyrics to the song now, aren't you? Because you don't know
Yeah.
the words to it. Okay, maybe.
Ass shaped like Selena. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Jesus Christ, Colin. I know my weekend.
Okay, maybe she's talking about something different. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep up with chat. You know, they're saying some interesting things.
SZA. by the
SZA.
way. It's not SZA.
Speaking of chat, you can get in on another chat via Discord.
Yes, I linked that again. I just linked it a minute ago, but oh nope, I can't link it right now. It's in there. It's only like a couple comments above it. I linked it at 7:14, so it just happened right now. Go check out our Discord. Go join the group. We'll chat with you guys afterwards. We'll also I'm probably gonna play some video games. So if you wanna join in on that nonsense, you can and hear me. I don't know, talk about City Skylines or something. Be great.
I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I'll be
just going
doing
through. Go ahead.
I'll be doing a unboxing video once I get my microphones, giving you a full rundown of the system we're using.
And I'll just be chilling. But did you guys know there is a category for the Junos called Children's Album of the Year? That is a thing.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, you have to re-release albums for kids. Kids like to listen to music, and
They
Maybe-
do.
that went through chat. That went right through the thing. Thank you, Microsoft.
What happened?
Microsoft just pushed an update and it went right through the podcast. That's very fun.
Oh.
Yeah, but children have to listen to music. Like you can't just have them like if you put Cardi B as like #1 album for kids are gonna have issues growing up. Okay.
Didn't
They
know
already
Cardi
do.
B was a thing.
Yeah, Cardi B is a thing.
Oh yeah.
It just kind of came out of
She
nowhere.
just like
Yeah, she just popped on the scene and then dominated the charts. She I listened.
Talk about a lazy name too, Cardi B.
Have you heard how she got the name?
No, it's probably something dumb
How?
though.
I forget the full story, but she was on Jimmy Fallon. She originally had an Instagram account called Bacardi B something, and they removed it, and so she changed it to Cardi B. That's how she got the name Cardi B.
Honestly, her naming conventions are pretty. Her hit song is just a fact that she just rips off another rapper's song and she just changes the name of the rapper that she ripped the song off of.
Have you ever noticed whenever like drinking is mentioned in modern music, it's always Bacardi.
Yeah, Bacardi, Grey
Yeah.
Goose. It's a couple of different drinks.
But like specifically rum, it's always Bacardi, which is
Well, because it's a posh rum. It's not like a.
It's more bougie than
Yeah.
what, Jack Daniels? Or...
Also, it's bourgeois. It's it's a French word. Everybody says bougie. It's not
bourgeois.
Bourgeois. It's pronounced. Yeah, it's pronounced bourgeois. It's not pronounced bougie. I don't know why people keep calling it bougie. It's really
Call it
annoying.
Bougie?
Yeah,
Who the fuck calls it bougie?
rappers.
It's bougie. Bad and bougie.
Bad and bougie.
God,
Do you
John,
not?
Jesus.
Yeah, John, you gotta listen to the rap game, man. It's called Bad and Bougie.
Don't. No, I don't. It's bourgeois, you dumb fuckers.
Yeah,
but it's bougie.
bougie. And they spell it Bougee.
Also, Grey Poupon is like a thing that's used in rap lyrics all the time.
Yeah, that's because that actually has some historical meaning. It's because they want to, like, you remember the Grey Poupon commercials where the guy's in like in a Bentley or a Rolls Royce and he asks for a Grey Poupon. So like it's because a lot of
Hey,
rappers.
Phil, wearing the Wayne's World T-shirt. Do you remember that commercial?
Yeah. Jeez, I can't see what's.
Excuse me. Do you have any Grey
Grey
Poupon?
Poupon.
Yes. So they because they wanted to kind of, from what I remember correctly, it has something to do with the fact that like it's a hard word. Grey Poupon's a bit of a hard word to rhyme. So it's also an item that kind of represents a bit of wealth. So it's a show off a skill, the fact that you can rhyme it, and it also shows off a little bit of like aspiration for what you want.
Yeah, great video.
See,
we should
that
link it.
that leads to one of my biggest issues with rap music. It's all about, hey, look, I've got money. Look at me, and it's like,
Sometimes, yeah, a lot of rap music tends to fall into that
Why?
genre.
What
A
are you
lot
talking
of
about Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. Totally not about owning money.
I mean,
it's like,
yeah.
don't get me wrong. There's the occasional rock song that involves, driving a Cadillac or
Yeah.
drinking booze, but
Rockstar by
never
Nickelback.
look at how successful I am. It's usually like rock music is usually about how much they hate themselves.
Yeah,
Every genre of music has a stereotypical topic. Country is trucks and beer and
I would say all
Singer
the
Sister or something. I don't know.
I will say all the currently popular genres do. Between rap, like the big three genres right now, are number one is going to be rap, hip hop, then it's going to be pop, and then it's going to be country. Probably in that order. As much as people like don't know country, but like country's like a niche scene in the sense that it's a very select group of people who watch it, but there's enough of them that it generates its as a fairly large genre. And those three genres are immensely predictable and immensely consistent in their tone and what they talk about. Rap talks about fast cars, drugs, alcohol, drinking, partying, having a good time. Pop kind of talks about relationships and romance and stuff like that, as well as drugs, alcohol, partying, having a good time. And country talks about drinking, back roads, girls, and trucks. And they fairly remain inside that genre. They inside that thesis. They don't shift much from it. The genres that are outside of the big three right now, like jazz, blues, rock, any other genre like that right now that's out, soul, are telling different stories and interesting things because they have to. They have to because they can't remain stagnant because the genre is essentially not in the popular sphere. So, people can't just mob it and listen to it and be like, oh my god, that sounds like something manufactured generic that I know it sounds like. It has to be different because people are seeking something different when they listen to more obscure genres.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my theory.
I mean, it's not really a theory. It's just kind of fact. at this
Wait.
point.
I mean, I don't have numbers to back it up. I can't I don't have an analyzation of all rock music that's been produced in the last year and tell you, well, yes, it's more complex. More rock people like this. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have the numbers. Just a hunch.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And again, it's also kind of like why I can never get too upset when people are all like, oh, rap music's terrible right now. I'm like, yeah, rap music's terrible because it's popular. I mean, as much as that's kind of a dick thing to say. And like
rap music is just kind of pop music at this point.
Yeah,
It really is.
it really is. And I don't mean that like all rap is bad or like saying there's no good rap because it's popular, but I mean like the rap you're going to hear the most is going to be generic and is going to be pretty samey and pretty blah because, well, it has to be.
Rock went through that phase as well back in like 2000.
Oh god, yeah, dude.
2003 to 2006, 7ish.
In around there, yeah, exactly. Before Drake showed up and mainstreamed rap, basically. I mean, Kanye kind of did it beforehand, and a couple other people, but before rap really kind of hit this big mainstream stride, rock was immensely generic and hit a complete plateau, and that's why it was replaced.
Yeah, and eventually rap is gonna do the same thing and probably gonna be stuck with country. Oh fuck me.
Right? Right?
See, that's like the next genre up, isn't it?
I don't. Country's got too much of a bad rep as is. Like, there's not enough people who identify with country on like a really deep level. Like, there's people who identify with rap on like, tattoo to their heart sort of thing. The same way that people do that with rock. Country's, I don't think has that same pull.
I don't know who you have on Facebook.
Oh boy. No. I go through my Facebook every 2 years and unfriend people I don't like.
I call it purging.
Purge it. Yeah, exactly. You purge them out. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just called Murder Night.
Murder Night?
You can't just murder people because they like country, John. Damn it.
That's...
Sure you can.
Sure you
It's
can.
just a matter of getting away
Actually,
with
did
it.
you know Boots and Hearts is the most violent music festival?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was there this year.
You were
I
at Boots and
can
Hearts?
attest to that. Yeah.
That is kind of funny. Like, what happens with a bunch of country people?
Just people get drunk and fight.
Yeah, pretty much. It's huge too. My parents went the first year it happened, and they were like, "We're never going again."
I'm happy that I won't be going again then.
Yeah, you should just go to Burning Man.
Burning Man.
I don't know. Like I always feel like
Burning Man without thinking of the Wicker Man.
every time I listen, I think about music concerts though. Like every time I think of like pop music or not pop music. Every time I think of like EDM, I think of just people doing Molly and dying. Every time I think of country music, I think of people getting into fights. Every time I think of rap music, I think of people starting riots. Every time I think of like pop music, I just think of screaming teenage girls and their fathers standing beside them wishing they could just end it all. And but every time I think of it's so sad though, because every time I think of metal, I think of a bunch of dudes who get into a fist fight and then stop for no apparent reason. They're just like, "Oh, sorry, some guy fell down. We better pick him back up." Like, what? Because metal guys are weird.
Metal guys are
metal.
strange.
Like I've been to a couple metal shows. They're the most brutal, but also the most polite people you'll ever meet in your life.
It's
You're
the
moshing,
weirdest
you're
thing.
literally kicking each other in the face. Someone
Yeah.
falls down. It's immediate pause. Help the guy back up. Brush him off. Make sure he's okay. Then you punch him in the face again.
Yeah, metal's weird.
Everyone's on the same page. Everyone understands that they like metal. I've seen concerts where dudes show up in suits and ties and they're just moshing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Awesome. Yeah,
It's cool and weird all at the same time. I will say that metal has some of the most interesting fans. That I will say the most. I've never really liked metal music, but I've liked metal fans.
they're the scariest people.
As
but
someone
once
who
you
has
talk to
played
them-
in a metal band, metal has some interest.
I think on that note, I think we've covered our topics. We've had a good show.
Yeah, I think so.
You've got to know us a little bit more. We voiced our political opinions, but we haven't pissed off anybody. We never dipped below 2 viewers, so that's good. I mean, my girlfriend consistently watches the show. This is good to know. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Connect with us on Facebook.
Yeah. Take us on Facebook. Check out the Discord. It's pretty awesome. We'll
We're posting
talk.
some highlights from this show on YouTube.
Yeah, check out our highlight reel, just like in general, check out our stuff, and we'll continue to produce content and hopefully get better and better and just provide more and more interesting content that you'll all want to see and hear and just be involved in. I'm Colin Phillips. You can follow me at CDP_photos at Twitter. Phil?
I'm Phil LaRosa. You can follow me at Phil LaRosa _ on Instagram.
I'm John Zagronic. You can follow me at Johnny Zags, no H.
No H, really? Okay.
No H. JONNYZAGS.
Oh, yeah, for John. Sorry, I was like...
ZAGS for, everyone that's an idiot living south of the border.
Good to know. All right. Thank you for listening. It's been a wonderful show. This has been Thoughts and Other Lies, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.